Hi BJM friends, Miss Trish here. Today I'm going to teach you another strategy to use when you're feeling worried. So last week Miss Heidi and I posted a video that talked about what to do when you're stuck in rock brain mode, and specifically when you're thinking about all the bad things that are happening. And we talked about how you could call on Superflex to get you out of rock brain and thinking differently about things, and thus helping you feel better. So today you can check out that video on the BJM YouTube site, but today I'm going to focus on another strategy to use when you're feeling worried, and it goes along with the video that I posted where I read Wilma Jean, The Worry Machine. So that you can check out as well, or you can just watch this and learn about the strategy. So in Wilma Jean, The Worry Machine, Wilma Jean is very worried about a whole lot of things, and there's a strategy that she uses that I like to teach to students. Some of you I may have taught this to already, but it's a way that can help you feel a little bit better and a little bit more in control of your worries. So I start with a chart, and it just says my worries up at the top. You can do this is on a whiteboard. You can do this on regular paper with just a pencil or a crayon or whatever you have laying around to write with. And I write, I can control and I cannot control. So I try to think about all the things that I'm worried about at a particular time when I'm feeling very worried. I write them all down. You can also talk about this with somebody if that makes more sense for you. You can talk about what worries you have, and you try to fit them into these categories, things that you can control and things that you cannot control. And sometimes I end up putting things in the middle because I feel like part of it I could control maybe, but some of it I can't. So I'm going to give you some examples, and hopefully this will become clearer. So in the book Wilma Jean, The Worry Machine, one of the things that she worries about is the weather. And I have to say that right now at this time, when there's not a whole lot we can do, there's not a lot of places we can go to kind of get out of our houses and do things. One of the things that we can do that's pretty safe is to go outside, as long as we maintain social distancing, keep about 6 feet away from another person. So I've been really loving going outside on the nice days, and one of the things that worries me is I looked at the weather for the next couple weeks, and it looks like it's mostly going to rain. And so that, besides tomorrow, so that worried me, because one of the ways that I remain happy and healthy is to get outside and do some exercise outside and just enjoy nature and enjoy all the things that come with spring, all the beautiful flowers. And when it's rainy, I could still do that, but I don't really want to get wet. And it's also been a little bit cold the last few days. So one of the things that I'm going to put on here that I'm a little bit worried about is the weather that's coming up, and especially the rain. So rain, I'm going to put on this side because rain is not something that I can control at all, right? We can't control what happens with the weather. It just is. There's really actually nothing we can do to change the weather. So I'm going to leave that one over here. What happens when I start doing this activity often is that I have a lot of things in this category, and then when I call on Superflex, if you remember from the other video, if I call on Superflex and have Superflex help me think differently and think more positively about things and think about how I can just change my thinking on something, then often I'll be able to move my worries over at least to the middle a little bit, and sometimes all the way over to here. Because if my worries are in this category, then I feel better about them because I could do something about them. So rain, can't do anything about. So I'm also going to say right now I'm a little bit worried about catching the virus. So I'm going to put COVID-19 over here because I feel a little bit worried sometimes about catching it. But then when I really think about the virus, I think, is there really absolutely nothing that I could control about it? And I think, well, one of the things that I'm doing is social distancing, and I'm staying inside a lot more, and I'm staying away from a lot of other people. So I am actually doing something about it. So I wonder if maybe, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I kind of want to move it here. Because it's like, well, I could do all these things and I could still catch it. So I feel like sort of not in my control, but then I feel like it is a little. And then I also think about all the things that I can do to prevent myself from getting it. So one of the things is, if I do go out, I can wear a mask. I'm sure you guys have seen people wearing masks. You can wear a scarf, even anything to cover up, this area of your face where your mouth is. Another thing that I can control, like I said, I enjoy going outside, and one of the things that I can control, what we do know about the virus is that if you are not very healthy otherwise, and if you have a lot of health problems, then you're more likely to catch it. So one of the things that I can do to try to stay healthy is eating healthy things and exercising. So those are things that I can control. So I'm going to put exercise and eating healthy. And when I think about eating healthy, I think I'm going to say eat vegetables. So eat my veggies. And then another thing that I can do is get enough sleep, which can be a little bit more challenging depending on what's going on, but I can at least try. I can at least make sure that I get in bed at a certain time every night to hopefully get a good night's sleep. So as I'm listing out all these things that I can control that are related to COVID, then I start to think, well, wait a minute. If I can control all these things, then maybe COVID is a lot more in my control than I originally thought. So I think I might leave it in the middle. Maybe I'll put an arrow here. Like I'm kind of thinking maybe I should put it over here a little bit more. But this is one way. Already in doing this, I'm feeling better about the things that I was worried about, including the virus. So that's a really clear example of how you can use this strategy to help you feel better about things that you're worried about and help you worry a little bit less. I hope that you guys will give this a shot and try it. Pretty simple task, but it can really help you feel much better and be thinking a little bit better about your worries. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.